Viktor Petrov was listening to the conversation of the man sitting in his back seat. "We're going to the FBI," the passenger said. Victor's heart stopped. That man, that damn man, Agent Thompson, the FBI agent who'd been trying to catch the Bratva bosses Victor had been driving for 3 years, and now he was in Victor's car. Viktor Petrov was an ordinary Russian immigrant living in Brighton Beach. 42 years old, blonde hair, blue eyes. He'd come to America from Moscow in 1995 for a better life. He'd been driving a taxi in New York for 15 years, yellow cab. Every day he started at 6 a.m. and worked until 10 p.m. Hard work, but honest work. He lived in a small apartment in Brighton Beach. His wife Yelena worked cleaning jobs. Their daughter Sasha was 16, preparing for college. Victor had one weakness: gambling, poker especially. Every Saturday he played with friends. Small money at first, then it grew bigger, then it spiraled out of control. He gambled at the Russian club Tsar in Brighton Beach, in the back room with big money. At first he won, then he started losing. 3 months later, he owed $85,000 to the Bratva. The Russian Mafia didn't give second chances. They didn't negotiate payment plans. When you owed them money, you paid with money, service, or blood. Victor had chosen the wrong game, with the wrong people, at the wrong time. Have you ever lost control? Type lost control. Anatoly Volkov was a lieutenant in the Brighton Beach Bratva. 40 years old, 6 feet 3 inches, cold blue eyes, tattooed arms, rings on his fingers. He came to Victor's home. Yelena and Sasha were there. "Viktor Sergeyevich," Anatoly said politely, "we need to talk." They sat on the balcony. Victor was trembling. "85,000, Anatoly said. "Big money." "I know, Anatoly Mikhailovich. I'll pay it." "How?" "With taxi driving?" Victor couldn't answer. Anatoly looked through the window at Sasha. The girl was studying. Beautiful girl, smart too. Wants to go to Harvard, doesn't she? Victor's blood ran cold. "Please, keep my family out of this." "Then let's find a solution." Anatoly made an offer. Victor would no longer be a regular taxi driver. He would become the Bratva's private chauffeur. "You'll just drive. You won't ask questions. You'll forget what you see." "For how long?" "Until the debt is paid. We'll reduce it by $5,000 each month." Victor calculated. 17 months. 1 year and 5 months. He had no other choice. In the Russian underworld, there were only 2 types of people: those who paid their debts and those who disappeared. Have you ever been forced to accept a job? Type was forced. Victor's new job began. Black Mercedes S-Class, bulletproof windows, special plates. First day, Anatoly had him drive to a restaurant in Lower East Side. There was a meeting. "You stay in the car, engine running, always be ready." Victor waited. 2 hours. He didn't know what was happening inside. Day by day, he learned the details of the business. The Bratva worked very organized. Monday, port business, container control. Tuesday, protection meetings with restaurant owners. Wednesday, drug operation coordination. Thursday, deal meetings with rival groups. Friday, money laundering operations. Victor saw it all. He pretended not to know any of it. Besides Anatoly, there were other bosses. Boris, the hammer. Petrov, violence specialist. Maxim, the banker. Volkov, money operations manager. Dmitry, the ghost. Kozlov, information gathering expert. They all found Victor reliable. He was quiet, unquestioning, did his job. But Victor remembered everything. He was learning unwillingly, but he couldn't forget. The Bratva operated like a corporation. Territories were divided, profits were calculated, competition was eliminated. Victor drove them to meetings where they discussed human lives like business transactions. Have you seen things you didn't want to see? Type I saw. 14 months had passed. Victor's debt had dropped to $15,000. A few more months. That Tuesday morning, Victor was given a different assignment. Drive regular taxi today, but listen carefully to your passengers. The FBI is following us. Victor got in his yellow cab. Regular route in Manhattan. In the afternoon, he picked up a passenger. From Wall Street. Middle-aged, suit, blue eyes. To the FBI building, the man said. Victor's heart raced. Yes, sir. On the way, the man made phone calls. Agent Thompson here. Yes, the Bratva operation. We've been tracking them for 3 years. Victor couldn't breathe. This man, Agent Thompson, the FBI agent Anatoly constantly talked about. Big arrests are coming, Thompson continued. Brighton Beach operation next week. Victor had to decide. Should he give information to the FBI, or should he warn the Bratva? There was silence in the car. Thompson was also watching Victor carefully in the mirror. You live in Brighton Beach, Thompson said suddenly. Yes, sir. Russian community. Yes. Thompson leaned forward. Viktor Petrov, right? Victor froze. How? Do you know? Because we've been watching you. The moment of truth had arrived. Victor's double life was about to collide with reality. Have you ever felt caught? Type caught? Thompson continued. 85,000 gambling debt. Anatoly Volkov's driver. For 14 months. Victor was silent. They threatened your family, didn't they? Victor nodded. Victor, I'm going to make you an offer. Help us and we'll guarantee your family's safety. What would I do? Just give information, meeting places, times, who's there. Victor thought. If he helped the FBI, the Bratva would kill him if they found out. If he didn't, the FBI might arrest him. My family ... Your family will be completely protected. Witness protection program. Victor thought of Sasha, her Harvard dream, Yelena's clean life. Do I have time to decide? 24 hours. Thompson got out of the car. Victor, I'm sure you'll do the right thing. That evening, Victor returned home. Yelena had cooked dinner. Sasha was studying. Dad, my Harvard application is ready, Sasha said. Did you read it? Victor read his daughter's essay. One day I want to bring justice to America, she had written. That night, Victor couldn't sleep. In the morning, he had to make his decision. The weight of choice pressed down on him. Family versus fear. Justice versus survival. The American dream versus the Russian nightmare. What was your hardest decision? Type hard decision. The next day, Victor called Thompson. I'll help. Right decision, Victor. The plan was simple. Victor would do his normal work, but give information to the FBI. He would record conversations with a microphone, report locations with GPS. The first week was difficult. Victor thought he'd be caught every second, but the Bratva didn't suspect. Victor was their trusted driver. 2 weeks later, the big operation, FBI raided Brighton Beach. Anatoly, Boris, Maxim, Dmitry, all arrested. Victor was at home that morning. He watched the news on television. Brighton Beach Bratva dismantled. FBI operation successful. There was a knock on the door. Thompson came. We're done, Victor. Your family is safe. What about the debt? You'll get legal help. Gambling debt is illegal. You don't need to pay. Victor cried. For the first time in 2 years, he really cried. Sasha ran over. Dad, what happened? Nothing, sweetheart. Everything's going to be wonderful. The neighborhood transformation began immediately. Businesses that had been paying protection money could operate freely. Families felt safe walking the streets at night. Iron Will message. True iron will is choosing your family and what's right. 6 months later, Victor was still driving a taxi, but now normal customers. Sasha was accepted to Harvard, full scholarship. Yelena was no longer afraid. The home was safe. Victor didn't gamble. He didn't even go near that club. Brighton Beach had changed. New businesses opened, honest businesses. Sometimes Victor saw his old customers. Thank you, they said. They were happy to be free from the Bratva. He had coffee with Agent Thompson sometimes. You're a hero, he said. No, Victor said. I'm just a father. Victor's story teaches us, even in your darkest moment, you can make the right choice. You risked everything for your family. You fought for justice. That's what Iron Will means. Maybe you know a Victor too. Someone who faced impossible choices. Someone who chose right over easy. Someone who saved their family by serving justice. Subscribe to Iron Will Stories. Stories of people who saved their lives with iron will. If this story gave you hope, please like, share, and subscribe. The world needs more people like Viktor. People who choose courage over fear, justice over silence, family over everything.